Hey, welcome back. We're back in Timberborn, and today we've got a little work to do here and there. I do want to try and get in the university today, but we've got a couple of other things to take a look at. First of all, this is back working. I guess there was some kind of bug that was set in there, so we don't need this one way over here anymore. We can go ahead and take that out of there. As soon as the game lets us take, there we go. Sometimes it takes a second on those kind of buildings. And I'd like to get a little bit more power into these. I think they're filling up all the way, but it should be okay to put a little bit more in there. So let's take and we'll build across here. We're going to need another set of these. And this is where the wheel has got to go. So we're going to have to take out at least one of these just to fit the wheel in. Get one of those in there. And once they've got that all made up, we can come back in and do a little bit more work here. Since we're still struggling a little bit for drill bits and various other things, I'm going to go ahead and switch this mine back over to the coal and iron so that we can get some scrap metal made down here. We don't want to run out of that because that would really hinder the colony altogether. Our sequoias are starting to grow in pretty nicely, so we're going to need a place to actually cut those down so we can get the logs we need from them. Let's take a look. Let's look into, is it village jobs? Nope, maybe it's, there it is, industrial. Giant sequoia feller. That's what we're going to need, and that is a really, really long building, but I would like to get it in here. So let's take a little bit more dynamite and we'll just clear out this space right here. They can get to that when they can, hopefully before the sequoias grow up, but if not, that's okay too. We're doing okay on gears, so I'm going to go ahead and start our university blueprint for this one. I'm not going to do both of them at the same time. That's a little rough on the sunflowers and the sunflower oil. I do want to keep some of that in stock, so we'll just wait and do one and then the other. We're going to do a little bit more demo down here and take this out so that our lotuses keep growing. We might actually remove some more of these by the end, but we're going to see if that will help at least down here. And maybe we can keep in a little bit more water here as well. We've got cooking tents spread out all over the place, and it's not very efficient. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to try and take some of these places around here and get them all into this area. So we're going to say no pumpkin chips at the moment. We're going to empty these two. There we go. And then we actually need a couple more of these. Looks like they changed the top of these for some reason. I'm not sure why, but they should still work. Here we go. We'll put those up there. And then we will also put in a couple of more piles, just like this. Yep. We'll go one here, one there. And then we want another large storage for both. And yes, there's no more path from there. We got to find out where the path comes out. Yep, still on the other side, just not automatically connected in for some reason. So we'll let them work on that for a bit. But let's go ahead. We can take this out of here. I'd like to go ahead and move these over. So let's just get a whole bunch of these. This is kind of in the way. I'm going to put it closer to where the kimchi actually is. We're going to store it right there. Let's get a couple more tents in here. 2, 3 about right there. Let's get another one here, and then we'll build a platform just like this. There we go. We'll get another one on here. We can take the roads this way and around this way. There we go. And then we'll come back and move some of these when we can. I think, though, that we might actually need some cauldrons. So here's this. Let's unpause it. And this building isn't connected. Why is it? Oh, there's a road there that I need to put in. There we go. We should have plenty of beavers to handle that. They can make some of the clay pots. Oops, not the charcoal. We need the clay pots. There we go. And then we can start. Well, look at that. They've already got a couple in here. We're just going to set all of these up while we're here. These are all going to be for the braised cabbage. Let's do these for the rice. There we go. Rice. More rice. More rice here. You're already up there, so let's get the kimchi up here. There we go. That can go. We'll put one more here. And, oops, not that way. Although I could, it won't really matter. Let's do these this way. 3. Grab a path for all of those. And we'll change this out eventually, probably for a ladder as well. Let's go. We've got these as the braised cabbage. Oh, those will be braised as well. Rice, rice, rice. And then these will be potato, or I guess pumpkin chips, not potato chips. They don't have potatoes. So we'll do this and we'll let them build this up. We can probably take out a couple of these. In fact, we're just going to take them all out so I don't miss any. And I would like to move the hot food up to here. So let's take these out real quick. There we go. We'll grab a hand. It can go this way, just so it looks a little nicer. There we go. And we'll set that up for the braised cabbage. Should be good to go from there. Well, they've got our warm storage up there for this. So let's go ahead and take this out of here. Got a lot of that taken care of now. They are getting in more of our cooking places, so I'm hoping the braised cabbage goes up. We'll keep an eye on it. Hopefully some more rice comes in and we can get a little bit more out of that, along with the pumpkins and cabbages as well. I'm going to run a bit of an experiment over the next cycle, and we're just going to go through and pause all these upper level ones and see if we still keep enough water in. We may not, but if we find we do, we could start eliminating some of these for maybe keeping a little more water in this area so we can get a little bit more food made. Got a couple more dynamite in up here. There we go. That spreads out some of the green there. We'll go ahead, toss down a couple more. I don't know how far they'll be able to go over, but if it comes down to it, maybe we'll remove some of this and let them expand that out just a little bit. But we also want to make sure that we get rid of all of this to see the full range on our farm over here. More dynamite done here. We're going to go ahead and detonate that out. There we go. And we can get rid of these. We'll toss one in here. Let's get that in. We'll do the same thing. We'll put some more connection places in here. We'll set the 3 up, but we'll pause it. And they can set the rest of this up. Let's make this a little more important as well. I'm needing a recipe that uses a lot more of these lotus flowers. And I think the only one that I know of right now that I'm really using is the tea. So we're going to double our tea output so that we can get more tea per day. Maybe we can get some extra saved up of that. I'm going to go ahead and continue out over here, putting in these aquifers just to see if we can get even more water out of them. Eventually, we might expand them out just a little bit if we get the bigger ones. I don't remember if the bigger ones, let's take a look. Maybe it'll let us check that here. Water pump. Here is the, nope, this is the large one. Yeah, it is slightly bigger on all sides, pulls in a ton more though. So eventually we might replace a lot of this with dirt. But while we're here, let's go ahead and get storage in here. Let's just do a, nope, it's going to be a pile. Let's do a large pile right here. And we'll say dirt and obtain. And we'll make that very important so they can empty out our drills over there. We'll remove that block, so we should be able to add in just another power connector here. Let's see. We've got that. We'll say that that's a little more important than other stuff. And once that's in, we'll be able to build this and have plenty of power to power up these three. I'm surprised, though, that depleted those so quickly. We'll have to keep an eye on it. I'm going to remove this water pump as well. I think we could definitely use some more rice, and that way this hopefully stays most of this bad tide or droughts. Plus, we can come back in and fill back in these places that we exploded. It's a good place to put some extra dirt that we might have, so we'll just do that. All of this here, we'll go ahead and say, let's fill this in. You guys reach down that far? I don't even know. You know what, we'll leave the road until all of that's built, but we should be okay here. There we go. Well, there's the last of the dynamite there. So we've got a little bit more. We're still waiting on some more dynamite all around here, though. And I have a feeling it's going to take a little bit. There's just so much that is based around this sunflower oil, and we're pulling in what we can, but it's still taking a little while. Our giant sequoias are in, and we have not got our dynamite down quite yet. So I think we're just going to go ahead and try see if we can fit this somewhere else for the time being, and then maybe we'll move it around. Maybe I'll just put it right here for now. So it's like this needs to come out just a little bit farther. We'll delete this down. There we go. And then we can temporarily put in this and grab those sequoias. We'll say that those are ready to be cut. Let's go ahead and make sure this gets in, and we'll make sure somebody gets there. We've got our first sequoia felled, and we should get our second log here, and then we'll get a third and fourth. They'll replant them and be good to go. Now the question is, what do I want to use these first couple of logs on? And really, what I think I could use the most is probably more haulers, or at least a hauling tower. So let's go into our advanced buildings, and we'll grab, do we have enough for the hauling tower? We sure do. We'll grab this, and we'll find a place to put this. It might be a little tough to find a place for this because it has a very, very tall entrance there. Where could we put this? Well, oh, actually, no, we're going to put the university here when it comes in. We could do something like this and then find a way up there. That would be difficult. Let's see. Well, we'll come back to that eventually, but that's definitely what we're going to be spending our logs on once I find a spot for it. I might have found a good place for it. We'll have to take out a little bit of forest here and probably build some ladders up to it, but this should be okay for now. If we ever need to move it, we'll move it. As you've seen in this playthrough, I am definitely not afraid to move stuff, so we'll do that. Actually, instead of taking it out, it looks like we could use some extra lumber, so let's go lumberjack flag. We'll do 2 here, and then switch this to these right here. And we'll get those in there. They can cut those out. You know what? Why don't we go ahead and put one up here too? There we go. And we'll mark these to get rid of since we don't need those either. I'm going to go ahead and get my log storage for this as well. So let's put this storage over here somewhere. You know what? We just freed up this area. Let's put them temporarily right there. And we can make a path to them and let them be held over there so that when they get this done, we can turn everything around and put some more storage up over here for them. Notice we still have this clay storage here, and we have cabbages here that really isn't doing anything. So we're going to switch this, and we're going to say empty this. That way, hopefully it moves all to down here, and we can free up a little more area here. While I'm putting up some stuff over here that will eventually move anyway, I think we're going to toss in a couple of warehouses. Let's just do medium warehouses. One here, and we'll make these for the grapes. Let's see, 1 grape here. We'll say that's a supply, and other grape there, also a supply. So then it can move the grapes out of here into here, and hopefully our haulers will come and take these away to where they need to be. They cut our trees down, so let's see if this will fit in there now. Yep, there we go. Sure will. We'll put you here. We've got our first tower in. We don't need that guy in there. Let's see if we can figure out how to get it connected up. We're going to need some ladders. There we go. And then we'll probably just need a short bridge. One very short bridge. And let's take a path over to it. There we go. This might be a temporary thing. We might move everything around. But hopefully this gets built and we'll just have a lot more places for haulers after this. Well, they've got in some of our dynamite over here, so let's take this out. There we go. And I'm just going to remove this because we're not going to need it again for at least a little while. And we're going to go ahead, turn it this way. There we go. And when we get the rest of this removed, which I'm just going to move these up here. There we go. That can go over here. And we'll put a storage right next door for the logs. And we'll need a couple more of these, won't we? Yep. Let's get in some of these. We'll get in a little of this. I wonder what that beaver was doing all the way over there. Sometimes I question them. There we go. Okay. So they'll get that in. We'll put in some more storage and be good to go there. I'm going to toss at least one of these over here. I know the water's not very far for them to walk, but they still seem to be pausing sometimes on making the lotus tea. And I'm not sure why, other than they could be going next door for the water. So we're just going to do that and say obtain and be happy that they can finally make more tea. Sometimes I take stuff out a little earlier than it needs to be, and it looks like in this case, I took those out a little early because our hauling tower over here is using a ton of logs, and we're just cutting down some of this forest again. So maybe once we stop using so many logs, we will be able to take these out. But for the time being, we'll leave those in. Hopefully they'll gather a couple extra of those for us. There's definitely a favorite among grapes. I don't know if that's because it's closer to walk to, but the white grapes are really getting eaten up, while the red grapes, not so much. So maybe that's something, or maybe, like I said, one is closer than the other. Who knows? But we're definitely getting quite a few of them, so maybe it's time I switch these out. Well, it looks like they're starting to get filled up over here, so you know what? Let's go ahead and prioritize these so they can get full and they can get more grapes put in over there. We're getting plenty of grape juice now, so I think we're going to put that a little closer to home so they don't have to go and get it directly from where it's being made. If we toss in grape juice here and we say obtain, then hopefully they'll fill this up and every day they'll have some grape juice to drink. There we go. Well, we've got a hauling tower in. Hopefully that helps get stuff moved around and we don't have too many more problems with that. I might have to replant some trees down here at some point. Let's choose something. Let's go with mushrooms because we've always got spare mushrooms. So let's, well, maybe there it is, mushrooms. We will just make that a repository for those. You can be a supply. You don't even have to prioritize it. But hopefully that gets people moved around. We've still even got extra beavers after that. So we're not doing too bad. We'll keep an eye on it. We've got the first part of the university researched, or at least on its way here. So we'll get to work on that next time, get the second part going, and keep working on this. But that's going to do it for today. So, as always, just want to say thank you very much for stopping by. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe, and I hope to see you next time. Bye!